Welcome to the 2019-2020 Eastern Ottawa Young Life Thankquet and Awards Night. I am Jonah, Staff Associate.
And I'm Rochelle, Young Lives Coordinator. And we are here because of you.
And we are really excited to be your host for the night and can't wait to guide you through this first ever Thankquet and Awards Night.
We have a fun night planned for you and a lot of special guests that you'll see. We know that there's a lot of things you've all done in ministry this year, and we're not going to be able to highlight all of them. So we're looking forward to seeing your comments below in this live stream.
We will take the next few minutes to see photos of each of you in the ways that you've been impactful in ministry this year. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and we will be back for more.
Here's to you and your year of ministry.
Yeah, isn't it amazing how a man can find himself alone, calling to the darkness for an answer that he's never known. Yeah, isn't it amazing how God can take a broken man, yeah, let him find a fortune, let him ruin it with his own two hands. And he climbs on up the hill, on the rock on which he stands. He looks back at the crowd, he looks down at his hands, and he says, I am a difference maker. Oh, I am a difference maker. Oh, I am the only one that speaks to him. And I am the friendliest of friends of God. Yeah, isn't it amazing how a man can find himself alone, calling to the darkness for an answer that he's never known. Yeah, isn't it amazing how God can take a broken man, yeah, let him find a fortune, let him ruin it with his own two hands. He walks on up the hill to the rock on which he stands. He looks back at the crowd, he looks down at his hands and he says, I am the difference maker. Oh, I am the difference maker. Oh, I am the only one that speaks to him. I am the friendliest of friends of God. About nearly everything I've seen, and I have felt the fire get put out by too much gasoline. We're all strangers passing through a place in time, an afternoon. Life is but a vision in a window that we're peeking through. Helpless conversation with a man who says he cares a lot. It's a passive confrontation about who might throw a punch or not. We are all transgressors, we're all sinners, we're all astronauts. So if you're beating death, then raise your hand, but shut up if you're not. 'Cause I am the difference maker. Oh, I am the only one who speaks to him. And I am the friendliest of friends of God. Oh, I am the difference maker. Oh, I am the only one who speaks to him. And I am the friendliest of friends of God.
Wow, we are so fortunate to have so many volunteer leaders and committee members that help create all those experiences that those photos represent. And I don't know about you, but seeing that gets me a little emotional of everything that happened. And some of those Capernaum pictures, it is so cool to have that in our area now. But we are just so thankful for all the clubs, campaigners, camp, and contact work, and all the ways that we've been able to point kids to Christ this year.
For sure, Jonah. And I want to put a big shout out to Nate Foster, our area photographer. He's done an amazing job just capturing all those pieces of ministry that we've done this year. So thank you, Nate.
Additionally, we want to thank Kate Nash, who's been running our social media these past 2 years. Kate, you have done an incredible job, and we couldn't be more thankful for the ways that you have shared Eastern Ottawa's story through social media.
Tonight, we're going to be highlighting student staff, student leaders, church partners, committees, volunteer leaders, and even some of our high school friends.
As we go throughout tonight, we hope that you feel known, loved, and thanked by the two of us and all the staff at Eastern Ottawa.
Jonah, I'm super excited. We've got some fun. We've got some meaningful awards. It's going to be a good time. You ready to do this?
Let's jump right in. Rochelle and I get to work with an amazing group of Young Life staff in Eastern Ottawa. And tonight we want to highlight a group of staff that helps us in all of our ministries so well, and that is our team of student staff. Jacob Fonts, Alexis Gunn, Sarah Vendel, and Connor O'Leary.
These student staff are in roles that help execute events that you've come to know and love, such as the Christmas party, hype night, and even tonight's Thankquet. They've held team leader positions in their ministries, and many of you have come to know and love them. Some of these student staff have done a great job in leading you in biweekly leadership and in leading our student leaders.
And we would like to present the 2019-2020 Student Staff Thankquet Award to Jacob Fonts for his outstanding work in all of these areas. Jacob, thank you. We would like to give you the microphone to say your own thank yous to those you've served alongside.
All right, thank you so much for this award. It's been an absolute pleasure to lead at Hudsonville High School for the past 4 years. And I've loved getting to lead alongside my team this past year to get to know new students, students that I'm already in contact with, and then just be with my team. Yeah, and besides that, I've been on student staff for the past 2 years, and I've loved the opportunities that it's brought me. One of those opportunities with my time is I've been able to spend growing our student leader program at Hudsonville High School. And so as we continue thanking different groups of people in our area, we want to take the time to thank our student leaders. And so student leaders in this role are generally upperclassmen who are getting to know underclassmen in the high school and middle schools. They are committed to the mission and the message of Jesus Christ and are also taking some sort of role or responsibility at club and at campaigners. So we just want to take a minute to thank you guys for the work that you're doing. My friends at Hudsonville High School, it's been a joy getting to work with you guys. I've loved seeing you grow, and I'm so proud of what you've been able to do. If you're at any other ministry as a student leader, leaders, if you know student leaders at your schools, just take a minute to thank them and be thankful for the work that they're doing on the front lines in the schools every day. We're proud of you guys. We've loved seeing you grow, and we're excited to see what happens in the next few years with you guys. So be praying for our student leaders. So I'm going to pass it off to Jonah and Rochelle. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jacob, and thank you, student leaders. Jacob, I have loved serving on a team with you, and it has been such an honor to see the way that you have impacted those student leaders so well. Right now, give a shout out if you have been impacted by one of our amazing student staff. We would love to hear your stories.
Another group of our staff team is our church partners. Church partners are adult leaders that invest wisely into fellow young life leaders. Their teams, as well as the youth groups they lead at their respective churches. They're a representative of young life in their churches, and they connect students into those places, into those churches so well.
We thank Ben Cruzy, Gina Abbas, and Chris Correa for all you have done on our staff team. And this next award is presented by a leader from Jenison High School, who is a veteran leader of 16 years, a wilderness trip leader, and wife to our Associate Area Director, Karina White.
All right, it is totally an honor for me to present the Church Partner Thankquet Award to Chris Correa because he has been a leader on my team for the last 3 years at Jenison High School, but also because he's my friend and he has been a great friend and just someone that I have just really treasured over the last 3 years. And Chris, we are sad that you are heading to seminary. Well, we're excited that you're heading to seminary, but we're sad that that means that you won't be at Jenison High School leading. That will seem really strange. We'll miss lots of things about Chris Correa. We'll miss all of the different sayings that we have at club. We'll miss, getting to ask you what color your jeans are, and dressing up as you occasionally. And, but really, you are very deserving of this award because of how well you have cared for our team, how well you've cared for your guys. And I really can't even speak to the church part of that, but I know that you have just committed so much time and energy and just so much of yourself into Fairway Church too. And so, yeah, I wanted to ask you, because you've been a leader at Jenison for 3 years, and before that you were a leader in Forest Hills for 4 years. How has your relationship with Jesus changed over the past 7 years because of your leading with Young Life? Just share that with us.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks for the question. I would say I believe so strongly in the image of God in every single human being, and wouldn't have known how to articulate that before being in a Young Life leading capacity, where I have had so many years of having kids be the ones to actually show me about who Christ is, what it means for Christ to, for us to be in Christ's image, what it means for us to have God's love, for that to be accessible to us. And I feel like any leader that I would tell that is starting up, or, new leaders who are maybe just like trying to figure out this whole, just learn the ropes of Young Life, I think I would like tell them that if you expect to be the one to teach kids about Jesus, then I think you will be surprised when you find out that they actually teach you more about what it means that every single person is made in the image of Christ, and bears that sense of divine image in how kids walk alongside you, and how kids show you grace when you screw up a lot. And in the moments where all of us are human and can hurt each other, or can miscommunicate, or whatever the case is, right? I think I wouldn't have been able to say, and be able to point to so physically what it means for the image of Christ to be in every single person, had it not been for my Young Life leader, Wei K. Wong, 10 years ago, who got to know me for every single Monday that I have been going to Young Life clubs since then. And for the 7 years that I led Young Life, and for 3 of those years being here at Jenison, I feel like every year as I've gotten further in my leading career, and now that I'm at my last one, I just feel like I know so much more about the image of Christ than I did before. So I'm really grateful to Young Life for what that has taught me, and to my students who have taught me so much more about that than, like I said, I could ever teach them.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, again, we're so thankful for you. You have undoubtedly made an impact on kids at Jenison High School. You've made an impact on me, the leaders on our team, our whole community, and we're just really thankful for you. Thankful for the time and your heart that you have given to our community, and we are really excited to see what happens in this next season of your life. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Man, Chris has left that kind of impact on all of us as staff that have been able to work with him. His depth and his insight for anyone that knows him has just been amazing. So Chris, thank you. If any of you have church partners on your team, or if any of our amazing church partners has touched your life in any way, would you just put that in the comments below?
And we have highlighted staff members, but there is a special group of people that work behind the scenes. They are people who care about Young Life and sharing the love of Christ with kids, and they are advocates for Young Life in our communities. They care really well for staff and leaders within the ministry, and this is our committees.
While the work being done by committee looks very different in all the different ministries, we are so grateful for the work that they are doing for the kingdom.
And to present our 2019-2020 Committee Member Thankquet Award, we will go backstage to Andrea, Eastern Ottawa Capernaum Coordinator.
Thank you, Jonah and Rochelle. I am super excited to be here with you all from backstage. I'm also really excited to get to present this year's Committee Member Thankquet Award. This year, the entire Capernaum Committee went above and beyond as we launched our first year of ministry. But tonight, I want to specifically give our Committee Member Thankquet Award to Tiffany Luzon, who served as our Capernaum Committee Chair this past year. Tiffany was praying for and working to help start Capernaum long before this year. And then over this past year, she really stepped up and helped us form a committee. She connected us to Evergreen, who provides an amazing space for our Capernaum clubs. She organized meals for our leaders, and even during this quarantine went above and beyond, writing letters to both our leaders and our Capernaum friends. Tiffany has played a very important role in getting Eastern Ottawa Capernaum off the ground, and I'm very thankful to get to honor her with this award. Now let's send it back to you, Rochelle and Jonah.
Tiffany, thank you for all the things that you did. Andrea said it so well, but you played just such an important role this year, and we are grateful to all of our committee members for those types of things that you have done. If you're on committee or if you want to thank one of our committee members, again, put that in the comments below. We want to hear all the shout outs to them, as they're so often just behind the scenes. Committee members, we're really excited to tell you that you will be receiving gifts according to your years in ministry with us. And
for those of you celebrating milestone years, we are excited to be giving each one of you these sweet bags for your family.
Eastern Ottawa Young Life could not continue reaching kids year after year without each of you.
Rochelle, I know I love serving alongside our committee members, but there's a large amount of people that cannot be overlooked.
That's right, Jonah. Leaders, that's you. You are in direct ministry every day with kids. The impact that you have on their lives on a daily basis, the way you're planting seeds and the way you're helping them grow in Christ, it's awesome. And that relationship is amazing.
First-year leaders have spent weeks in training and then stepped out into the world of kids. They have started developing relationships and have even stood up to give their first club talk. Thank you, first-year leaders. We are so thankful for your bravery, your love, and your courage.
We're headed off-site now to Maria, Young Life mission staff currently serving in our Coopersville community. She will present our 2019-2020 First-Year Leader Thankquet Award.
Thanks. This year we started Coopersville Wildlife, so most of our leaders are first-year leaders, and if I could give an award to each of the Coopersville Wildlife leaders for the way that they faithfully follow Christ, I would. But because this moment is about one leader, and one leader in particular, I took my time to choose who it would be. And what I came down to was that this leader is just all in for Jesus. Their only reason they're even leading wildlife is so that they can take the love that they've received from Christ and to spread it around like free candy. And how fitting, right? Because as Young Life leaders, we show up to schools and meet kids where they are with a bag of candy. And this leader showed up to lunches every single week. When they went to lunches, they laughed at kids' jokes and really just met them where they were at. And I know that sounds really cliche, but I watched this leader do that. They made them always feel like the star of the show at club, prayed behind the scenes, and were just a good friend to each kid in the way that Jesus is to us. They're the hands and feet of Christ, thinking of ways to improve club and contact work, pointing us back to the Word of God, and just meeting tons of needs, whether that be in meetings, a club, or just really anywhere he goes. He would see that something needed to happen and would immediately step in to do that. No ifs, ands, or buts, or even questions asked for him to do that. He just always stepped in and faithfully served. So thanks for your humble posture and your heart on fire for God. The 2019-2020 First Leader Award goes to Josh Mast. Back to you, Rochelle and Jonah.
Josh, thank you so much for just leading out of the love that you have because you have a relationship with Christ. That's what it's all about. We're looking for your shout outs for your fellow first year leaders for all the amazing things they've done. So make sure you put those down below.
Thank you to all of our first year leaders. You'll be receiving this Moleskin journal in the mail or when we gather for ministry this fall.
Second and third year leaders, you've continued to develop relationships with kids. You're doing things like chaperoning prom, you've planned club, you've worked hard to help get kids to camp. You've entered into really tough conversations, even when it's hard and maybe you didn't want to. Second and third year leaders, we are thankful for your passion and your commitment.
Nikki, Grand Valley State University adult leader and wife to our area director, is standing by to present our next award.
Thanks, Jonah and Rochelle. At Grand Valley University, we want to recognize an amazing second-year leader, Brennan Brooks. And we chose Brennan because he has really exemplified Christ in his leadership on our team by showing love and acceptance and sharing his story with all the students that come through the door, and just has had such a gentle, consistent, and very Christ-centered presence on our team. And he's grown so much and shared his story so much, and we really appreciate that. One story I want to highlight is this year, one night after club, all the leaders left the club room, and it was late at night, really time to go to sleep, and we all noticed this guy laying with his head down on a table and across like a little lake outside the Thornapple room. And we all actually saw this guy and even made a couple of comments like, oh, that guy doesn't look like he's doing well. And Brennan just walked across around the lake and walked over to this guy who he had never met. And he asked him if he was doing okay and asked him his name and if he wanted to be prayed for. So Brennan has just really shown, he's really walked out how Christ loves us by his actions and his words. And when people talked about doing something, he does it. And we just love having Brennan on our team and want to thank him so much for all of his very selfless leadership. Thanks.
Brennan, it's leaders like you that I think have this bold and spiritual maturity that you're not even aware of yourself maybe. And so we are just so grateful for you and for other second year leaders like you. Let's give our second year leaders shout outs below.
Thank you to all of our second year leaders. You'll be receiving this Nalgene in the mail or when we gather for ministry this fall.
Jonah, I'm so grateful for third year leaders. Our next award is going to be given by Becca Kunz, Young Lives Committee member and Child Care Coordinator.
I am excited to present this next award to a leader who has shown up for the last 3 years in the life of a young mom. This leader has done her contact work, club, camp, campaigners. This leader has gone above and beyond that and welcomed this young mom into her life, into her home. This leader has done the late night phone calls, birthday party preparations, towed a broken vehicle, even at baptism. This leader has shown up. So the 2019-2020 Third Year Leader Award goes to Holly Van Kampen. Holly, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being a leader who just shows students how to love God so deeply. Thank you for being a great example of an adult friend. Holly, thank you for 3 years. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Holly, for everything you've done to walk alongside and mentor teen moms and young lives. Thank you to all of our third year leaders. Again, keep the shout outs coming. Who on this list still deserves some love in our community?
And to all of our third year leaders, you'll be receiving this awesome Young Life travel mug in the mail or when we gather for ministry this fall.
Jonah, this list of leaders is just absolutely amazing. And I know we're only highlighting a few out of those huge lists And we know there's amazing work being done, which is why we keep asking you just to give your thanks and your in the comments below, because we want to hear all the stories. We know that God is just being honored through all of you.
I also love to see adult volunteer leaders. Healthy adults in the lives of kids is so important. And I'm so thankful for our veteran leaders, which means they've been leading for 4 years or longer. And now let's go all the way to Wisconsin, where MJ will present our next award.
Thanks, Jonah and Rochelle. MJ here from the beautiful and sunny state of Wisconsin. This next award goes to a leader who has been serving at Hudsonville High School as an adult leader for the past 4 years. This leader has been an incredible role model to the Hudsonville team, a fun and energetic leader to the students, a go-to guy if you need someone to pick up candy wrappers with a student, and continues to bring a high level of spiritual maturity to our area. This leader has not only loved and served our area, but shows us what it looks like to be a faithful husband and dad, while also giving up his Monday nights to show kids who Jesus is. The 2019-2020 Veteran Leader Award goes to Jeremy Quant, and we thank you for being an incredible leader, friend, and role model to many of us. You balance having a son, a baby on the way, a wife, and a full-time job, while also continuing to serve on the Hudsonville team. We thank you for the blessing you are to our area and our team. Now back to Michigan.
Thanks, MJ, and thanks, Jeremy, for so faithfully serving the Hudsonville team and all the students. I am so thankful for the role model that you are in my life and everyone else that you get to encounter and be with.
If you look at this list, which of these leaders has impacted you, your team, and the students that we serve? Let's see those names get listed below. And to all of our 4-year leaders, you're going to receive this awesome coveted sweatshirt blanket, either in the mail or when we gather for ministry next fall.
Hold on. I got to talk to Rochelle real quick. Hey, we're not done yet. Like, there's still a lot of people watching us. Like, you have to put your dress back on.
Jonah, really? This is way more comfortable. And I promise you that they are not wearing dress clothes.
Yeah, they're not wearing a tie or a suit top either.
I haven't seen any.
I don't
Nope.
think.
Nope.
But we are the award show hosts. Like, we have to look nice, even if they don't. They're all watching us. But that sweatshirt's pretty awesome. Like, I really wish I had one.
You want some good news?
Yes.
Good news. This sweatshirt right here is going to go to all of our 5-year leaders. We're just so grateful for them. And Jonah, I believe you're a 5-year leader, buddy. Here's your sweatshirt.
Thank you so much, Rochelle.
Yeah.
And there are some incredible leaders that I've been leading alongside for 5 years. And I am so thankful to be able to share this milestone with Morgan Winters, Sammy Glass, Hannah Malkleb, MJ, and Katie Anderson.
There's one more sweatshirt that we'd like to present to a leader that's reached a significant milestone. We would like to join Ryan White, Associate Area Director, and Eric DeVries, 10-year leader and current teacher staff right now.
Eric, it's hard to believe it's been 10 years. Hey man, I just hope that you really know how much we appreciate you and the time that you've given to Young Life. And yeah, in the context of a volunteer leader the past few years and a church partner before that and in college. And I even think back before that when I met you in 7th grade, when you were in 7th grade and I got out of college.
Had long hair.
Crazy. I did. Shaggy hair. And then I remember when you went off to college, you were thinking of going into pre-law stuff. And then you kind of had felt like God working in your heart to want to work with kids more, become a teacher. And so we had a conversation about you exploring leading Young Life, and little would I've ever guessed at that point, 10 years later, here we would be. So anyways, we're super thankful for who you are and the time that you've given, and just, I want to turn it over to you if you have any thoughts for us on, leading for 10 years, how God's worked in your heart, what you've seen God do in the lives of kids maybe in that time. Any thoughts for us?
The story just pops in my head when I think of the kids I've worked with, and just going to Machindo, kind of my first year as a church partner, probably back in 2014, and just 2015 maybe. And I just remember sitting on the bench, and I can still remember the same exact spot. And anytime you have those big conversations with kids, I feel like they just burn in your memory. And I just remember a student just being like, Eric, I didn't know that Jesus was that for me. And just a kid that I knew for a long time, and just hearing him say that, it means a lot to do that. So those kids that say that to you stick out in your head. And then also the kids that don't say that stuff to you too. And just knowing that, you're making a difference in their lives as well. Whether it's their parents that tell you or they tell you later, everything's not always right then, but to hear it right then was a really cool moment for me, I know, and something I think about a lot. And then just something I'm very thankful for Young Life. I feel like it's just like setting my heart and my mind right, as I just still lead Young Life, but then also have different jobs or become a dad or just do different things in the world. I'm very thankful that I feel like Young Life has showed me the importance of living out your faith and speaking your faith and spreading Jesus and sharing Jesus just in every aspect of your life. And, as I continue to lead, and if I ever stop leading, it's just like I know that Young Life has been such a gift for me in that way.
Thanks for those thoughts. Yeah, it's cool to think, man, the kid that you were at camp with in 2015, they're probably in college now, like that's pretty amazing to think, like the long-term impact that you've had in some kids' lives. So yeah, thanks for those thoughts. And again, man, I just hope you really feel from the bottom of our hearts in Eastern Ottawa how much we appreciate you and everything that you've done. Not because it makes Young Life look good or you look good or whoever look good, but because, like, for the name of Christ in lives, we're just super thankful for how you care and love for kids and how you're doing that at Jenison, in your job now, through teaching and stuff. So yeah, love you, man. And here's to 10 more years, eh?
Let's do it. Let's do it. 50.
I'm talking about 50.
Thanks, Ryan.
Congratulations, Eric, for the 2019-2020 Thankquet Award for a 10-year milestone. I can still remember one of our first memories together is we both showed up to a football game in Zealand, a middle school football game in Zealand, and it was pouring rain. And I, of course, didn't bring an umbrella because I was only a second-year leader and I wasn't that smart, and I never have umbrellas. And Eric and I sat in pouring rain with about 5 parents and just got drenched for like 3 hours. And it was just such a fun first memory. So thank you, Eric, for 10 years. And we all travel through different seasons in our life. And for Eric to travel with us and with kids for 10 years is really amazing. So thank you, Eric.
Jonah, did you know that because of our veteran leader, Bruce Kunze, who's led for 24 years, he led Ryan White. And Ryan White just said he met Eric DeVries when Eric was in 7th grade. And now we have Eric DeVries, who has led for 10 years. And it's those students whose life that Eric has touched that are becoming leaders now themselves as they become and go into college. And as Eric says, bring on the next 50 years, right? We need adult leaders like that and veteran leaders like that. We're so thankful for you, Eric, and for all of our veteran leaders. I have chills. For any of those veteran leaders that are on that list, if they made a difference in your life, again, would you share those stories below? Would you tell us? Because we want to be able to share that with them.
I'm grateful that I got to lead Wildlife with Bruce Kunze for 3 years before transitioning into leading Young Life at the high school. Along with me, there are so many people that wouldn't be where they are or who they are if it weren't for Bruce Kunze. So Bruce, thank you. And next year we get to celebrate 25 years of leading Young Life. It is incredible.
I agree, Jonah. But speaking of transitions and changes, we want to thank all of our leaders and all of our committee members that might be transitioning out of leadership and doing other things in life. And to share more with that, here's our area director, Ryan Elders.
Thank you, Jonah and Rochelle. It has been so awesome to be a part of this night, to see the interviews, see all the pictures, read all the comments. I am humbled by all of the volunteer leaders and committee members that we have in this area. It is not easy to be a Young Life leader and a committee member. It takes a ton of time, energy, and sacrifice to do this important work, and I am so grateful. Whether you started leading a few weeks before all of this lockdown happened, or you were a leader and a committee member in the 90s. I am just grateful that you said yes to the significant work of helping students in our community get a chance to experience the Christ. Now, before we end this night, I know there are some people who this season of Young Life is over. And I have to admit, this is my least favorite thing to do, because I get really sad anytime someone kind of moves on. But I wanted to take a moment and just say thank you. Thank you for this season that you chose to dedicate towards Young Life. Your fingerprints are all over this area and on student stories. You will not be forgotten, and this is a significant thing that you have done. And so in a moment, we're going to put a list of leaders that we know of that are leaving, and we just would love to pray over them and celebrate them and thank them in our own unique way. But before you go, I just want to extend a blessing to you. So grace and peace to you wherever you go in this next season. May you continue to go to and show up in people's lives with the love of Christ.
Thanks, Ryan. Here's what some of the kids in our community had to say about their favorite leaders. Dear Wildlife Leader, I just wanted to let you know how grateful I am to have you in my life. Thank you for always being here to talk, laugh, and learn together. The past year has been a tough one, but I'm so glad I've been able to open up and talk to you. Opening up to you has helped me learn how to talk and open up to others too. Thank you so much for that. I love hanging out and spending time together. It always brings a smile to my face. I hope we can stay in touch and keep learning about friendship, love, and God together. You have made such a positive impact in my life, and I just wanted to say thank you. Dear Young Life Leader, I was told the other day that you would be leaving Young Life. I would like to let you know that you have not wasted your time being a leader. You accepted me day one of my freshman year, and I was unsure if I was making the right decision by choosing who was going to be my leader and if it was where I need to be on Monday nights. Looking back at our time together, I'm happy I chose you and Young Life. Your acceptance of others and your dedication to kids like me has really made a difference in our lives. I know things will be different for a while, but I know that God has a plan for you and that you are loved. You will be missed by all of us here at Young Life. Sincerely, a Young Life kid.
Wow. Thank you. Leaders, committee, thank you. I believe the impact that you're all making is going to last, and it's important, and we couldn't do this without you, and we're sad not to be with you tonight, but we're glad we can do this and that we can be with you this way. And I look forward to reading through all those comments. On behalf of Eastern Ottawa Young Life, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Together, we are making a difference in the kingdom.
Yeah, to leaders that are coming back in the fall to continue ministry, we are so excited for another year to help show kids who Jesus is and to be Jesus to them. Let's prepare this summer to bring the energy and be together and have some fun. And to the leaders that are leaving, thank you for the years that you served. Thank you for the time that you gave up to advance the kingdom and to help kids feel loved and known in our communities. And as we say goodnight, thank you for joining us, and stay live for just a few more moments as we have a special message for you from two of our students. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, I'm Georgia Brower.
And I'm Tyler Redder.
And we just wanted to take a quick second to say thank you. Thank you for all the time, energy, money, creativity you all put into making Young Life what it is. Thank you to the leaders and committee members. Your work does not go unnoticed. You are so appreciated.
Yeah, and as students, we want you guys to know and understand that there are kids out there that know and love Jesus better because of the time that you've invested in our lives.
Thank you.